Soon the attention will turn to what is a nearly 2,000-year-old tradition of selecting a new pope. Catholic cardinals from around the world will convene a papal conclave inside the Sistine Chapel to complete the ancient and secretive process. For more, we are joined by CBS News Papal and Vatican contributor Monsignor Anthony Figueiredo. Good morning. Good to see you again from over across the way there. Let me ask you first, before we move to the conclave, Monsignor, Pope Francis, from the minute he became Pope, fashioned his ceremonial behavior in a way that reflected his larger vision. How did you see that in the funeral service for him?
Absolutely, John. When Pope Francis was elected March the 13th, 2013, he came out on the balcony and he actually bowed and knelt and asked the people to pray for him. So he was the Pope of humility. He was the Pope of simplicity. He was the Pope who did not keep to the script. And so we've seen that today in the funeral as well. A very simple coffin, not the traditional three-layered coffin, a service that was peppered right through with sadness, but great joy as well. And they're moving through Rome. I mean, that was amazing in an open Pope-mobile. He didn't want to stay with the dignitaries. He didn't want to stay with the monarchs and heads of state. He wanted to be with his people, to allow them to, again, enter with him in that Pope-mobile.
And so, from a pope that didn't keep to the script, now we'll have a new pope who will write a new script. In that process, cardinals are here, but they haven't started the conclave. What are they doing at this stage before the formal conclave begins?
Well, at this point, you know, the cardinals, I think they're in a real pensive mode. We're actually in the convent where 10 of them are living at this moment, and it's fascinating counting these cardinals, some of them true papabilia, and they seem very nervous, very pensive. Really, I think there's going to be this battle. Do we keep with the legacy of Pope Francis? And today's funeral is going to be key in that, John, because we saw that great applause how many times during that funeral homily, where we touched on so many important points of Pope Francis's legacy. Build bridges, not walls. A church that is open to all. A church that is a field hospital. Or do we go back and put the emphasis back on doctrine? That's going to be the key to this conclave.
And how will they, once they get into the conclave, the idea is that they will be moved by the Holy Spirit, but they won't just sit and wait for the Holy Spirit to descend on them. How will they try to discern the answer to the key question you asked?
We're living in that moment. You know, we have the old adage here that you go in as a pope, you come out as a cardinal. And the Holy Spirit has already chosen the candidate, but there's going to be discussion. The cardinals are going to have general congregations now, beginning Monday morning, where they're going to meet in the morning and afternoon. Each one of them is going to give a short address on where he thinks the church needs to go. Back in 2013, Pope Francis gave a very key address that changed the hearts of the cardinals in his favor. He says we need that sweet joy of evangelizing, going out to the people, going out to the peripheries. That has been his papacy. So we're going to hear that discussion in the general congregations, but they're also going to be meeting in private, sir.
Right, under the eyes of Michelangelo. Monsignor Figueiredo, thank you so much. It's been a joy being with you today.
Papal conclave. Only those under the age of 80 can vote. They're known as cardinal electors. They take an oath swearing to never reveal what happens at the conclave, and they vote by secret ballot. Cardinals write their choice for Supreme Pontiff, as it's called. One by one, they bring up their votes to Michelangelo's fresco of Last Judgment and place the ballots in a chalice. The cardinals will vote 4 times each day until one candidate receives 2/3 of the votes. After each vote, if nobody receives enough support, the ballots go into a stove with chemicals to make black smoke. When one candidate receives enough votes, the final ballots are burned with a chemical that turns the smoke white.